Hello family, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Linient Chege. If you're a new subscriber, karibu sana. If you're an OG here, please keep it here and thank you so much for your support. Now, today I feel like I want to share with you how I have been able to bond with my son. I have a young adult and sometimes it's quite a challenge. You do not know how to bond with these children, as they're growing up. And I understand families are unique and you can only do what works for you. Okay, so let me just share a few things on how I have been able to raise this son since a young boy up to now that he's an adult or a young adult. I just call him a young adult. First of all, let me say bringing up a child is not an easy thing. It is work and lots of work. Children are a blessing from God, and once they come into this earth, we have a responsibility as parents to take care of these children. And I know it is everybody's wish as a mother for a child to be the best, even better than you as the mother. Am I right? Am I saying the truth? So God gives us these children as custodians, as their role models, and we're supposed to take care of them in the best way we know how. I remember before I had this baby, I was really looking forward to have a child, and I don't know what reasons I had for a son, because I kept praying to God to give me a son, and who is like God? Now, when I got this baby, I had done a lot of research. Trust you me, I read a lot of books, and just like I said before, everybody wants to bring up a child the best way they know how. And I did a lot of research on how to bring up a child, by the time they are born, actually from pregnancy, not even when they are born, from pregnancy, I knew what to take. Of course, I'm saying this in quotes because we do what we think is good for us, but God guides us. So I did a lot of research, read books. I had a lot of books to read from child development, how a child grows and develops, and because I wanted to have a lot of information on what to do. Some of the tips, I'll just give you a few tips that I have used. They are not all, because there are a lot of things that people do when bringing up their children, and how to just help bonding with these children. So when he was growing up, I made sure that I, of course, gave him quality time from the time of birth. Definitely, most of the time, if you're not a working mom, you're at home, so you're definitely at home with your child. So breastfeeding, I made sure I breastfed my child all along. Thank God I had milk. If you have milk and you can breastfeed, please make sure you breastfeed your child. It's a way of bonding from the time you give birth. You bond with that child as they breastfeed, and it is the best thing that you can ever do to your child. So those of us who are blessed can breastfeed, please make sure you breastfeed your child. Breastfeeding helps even in most of the diseases, keeping away most of the diseases. The child is not under attack of any diseases if you are able to breastfeed very well. My son did breastfeed up to 2.5 years. At one point, because I was getting very dizzy when he was growing, of course after 1.5 to 2 years there, and I had gone back to work after maternity leave. Oh, it was tough, because the more he breastfed, the more I got weaker and I was not able to eat, because I was very, very busy. I was working in an institution where it was very busy. Even eating time was not that much. The other thing I did is I made sure I spent a lot of time and quality time with my child as they were growing up. I made sure I did everything for him. I had a house help, yes, but I woke up very early in the morning, as early as 2:30 a.m. or 3, to prepare my son. That is, prepare food stuff for him and make sure everything is ready. And the house help was just doing house chores and now getting time to feed this child. Why did I do that? One, my mom taught me that even if you have a house help, it's important, if you are available, just be there to do those things for yourself. One, you'll be sure that the hygiene of the food, because most of the time we used to, when I was bringing up my son, we did have blenders and stuff like that. They were still very expensive, so I used a normal sieve just to do all that stuff for my son. So you make sure that hygienically the food is clean and it's safe for the child. The other thing is, it's ready for this help to feed whenever the child needs to be fed. They will not have any excuses to give to when it comes to feeding the child. That is, sijui alichelewa kupika, so alipelechelewesha mtoto kula. And you will always notice when you come home whether a child has been fed or not. You will know. You'll get to know by the way the child behaves. They'll want to eat. If they have a very high appetite, you will get to know. So when he got to the age where he was able to play around on by himself, I made sure I had enough toys for him, affordable toys. Again, don't break the bank, people, to buy toys for your children. Just buy. There are very many toys and a variety of them that are very pocket friendly. So I made sure I had a lot of toys for him to play around. And when I was available, every time I made sure we played together. Remember, this is a child, is an only child, by the way, so I had to teach him a lot of things like sharing. So how would he have learned sharing if I was not there? So I learned that most children I had seen before did not know how to share. So every time they would throw tantrums because some other child or children have taken away their toys or something they were eating and did not share together. And I was like, wait, I have a lot of work to do. So the other thing is, I made sure we ate meals together as early as he was. When now he was able to eat our food, I gave him and we shared this food together and we ate the same time so that he can learn about the times to eat also. And because of course feeding times were changing, since he was now incorporating into our meals and times for us eating meals, he was able to eat the time we were eating. So we had to adjust the time for eating so that it suits him. Remember, I made him my priority. That's the first thing I did. I should have said that earlier. I made him my priority. So most of the things I did because I had to adjust according to him. Sharing assisted this boy with building relationships with the other children while playing. What do I mean? When we were playing together, he learned the act of sharing. So when he went out with his toys, I always told him that it is important to share, because whatever toys I have or he had are not the same as the other toys that the other children have. So I kept reminding him that those children have their toys, and when they give you their toys, you also give them your toys. The other thing is how you communicate to the child. Now, communication is very important because children learn what they hear immediately. If you use those very strange words, I'm using the word strange because I don't want to call them the way they are supposed to. If you're that kind of person who uses bad language, it is time to refrain. So I used always very careful with the words I use, how I communicated to him, not calling him names, because remember, these are the same things he will learn from you. Children learn from the immediate people they are living with. Whatever happens around that environment, they copy paste. So I know, thank God, I am not that kind of a person who uses bad language. But I was now more careful not to say, like, you're silly, you are stupid because a child has done something wrong. Remember, this child is learning from you, and the other person, maybe the house help, who is helping you or assisting you around in the house. It's important also to talk or communicate the same to your house help, so that they are also very careful what they communicate back to the child. So still on this communication, I was able to learn personally. I could say please, I could say thank you, but now I had to do it more than ever before. Make sure you say excuse me, say please, say thank you when you're given something, say sorry when you wrong somebody, or when you do something wrong. This I had to instill, and I'm telling you, it worked. I remember one time he confronted me, and he was about 4 years. Yes, if I remember very well. And I don't know what I did to him, and I forgot to say sorry. I think I hit him when I was passing, and he was behind me, and I did not know. And he was like, "Mom, you didn't say sorry, and umenigonga." I was like, ouch. So it works both ways. Give this communication to your child. Let them learn the best, how to say sorry, how to say thank you, how to say please when they're asking for something. Please, may I have this? Please, may I have milk? Please, may I have food? Please, may I have porridge? I'm sorry I hit you. I'm sorry I did something wrong, okay? It works like magic, and it has worked to date. My son says thank you to anybody, even strangers, when he's helped. He will always say sorry if he has wronged. If he knows he's on the wrong, actually, he will come home first and start telling me, now let me tell you, I just want to tell you something that has happened. I know I was not supposed to do this, but it has happened, and I want to share what has happened, and I am very, very sorry about it. So it has worked. That has worked for me. As mothers, we can be very talkative. We talk a lot. I can have too much to say and have no time to listen. So I also learned to listen to him. Whenever he's calling me, I would sit down, listen to what he's saying until he's done, without interrupting. That is, I'm telling you, I know it's very difficult for me even today to just listen to even someone else, not only him, without interfering. But I keep learning and keep reminding myself. So listening to him also has been very helpful on this journey. In every place or home, there are rules and guidelines that rule and guide everybody in that house, all of us included as parents. So make sure you set rules in the house. That includes times for eating. If times for eating is 7 p.m., let it be 7 p.m. If the time for bathing is 4 p.m., let it be 4 p.m. Okay? Time for going to bed, sometimes, which is very challenging for all of us. If you set a time for bed for this child, make sure for that child it is set at that time, and if it's 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., let it remain 9 p.m. This will help this child and guide this child every time and every day, so that anytime they are breaking the rules, they are aware that, you know what, mommy said this or daddy said this, and this is the time for doing this particular thing. If playtime is in the afternoon, what time? Give a period for play. If watching TV, there is a time, make sure there is a time for that watching TV, so that they do not do everything in excess. It's a good guideline and should be followed to the letter. Once you break the rules, you as the parent show that that child can break those rules, you fall apart. The upbringing becomes very, very challenging. Also, where things should be kept. If house keys are kept in a certain place, let nobody move those keys from that place. The essentials, the things, if shoes are kept in a certain place, it's good to have order. Order helps people to get organized. Disciplining a child is very important. Let's not bring up children who are indisciplined, because we are not instilling it as parents. We fail big time. I would discipline this boy when he's wrong. When I talk about discipline, I don't say you go take a twig from a tree and kill your child as you hit them so hard. No. Discipline that child according to their age and their level of understanding. And more so communication. As you discipline this child, let the child know why you are disciplining them. So as I discipline mine, because I never ever postponed disciplining. Me, I am instant. I am spontaneous. Ukifanya makosa na kuchapa papo hapo, na tunamaliza hiyo story. I will not dwell on that, because you cannot keep saying stop forever. I mean, it will not work. So if you mean to discipline, please discipline them, but don't be harsh on them. Discipline, love on them as you discipline them. Let them know you still love them. I taught my son how to do house chores at a very early age, because I knew, and I still know, it is very important for a child to learn from when they are young. Whatever you instill in this child from the time they are young, they will grow knowing what to do and what not to do. So at the age of 9 years there, he would come and help me do laundry, sometimes when I'm doing the laundry. And he found it fun. Some of us as parents, when a child comes to help around, atiwe toka kwa maji unashikashika maji ya nini, mpatie handkerchief, give that child a handkerchief to wash, give him socks, give him or her socks to wash. Those small things, imagine they learn from that. Even their hands now start learning how to fua, how to laundry. They learn how to do their laundry at that young age. So mine learned very early. And even brushing, like brushing, polishing shoes, how polishing shoes, show them the right way to do it. You first clean those shoes, remove the dust with soap and water, and then after that let them dry, and then wipe, then take your brush and the polish, then start applying, and show them how to do it. Imagine they will do it and they will not mess around. Just teach them the right way to do things. When he was a little bit older, I taught him how to cook. Basics, the small things, how to cook. I will go with him to the kitchen and we cook together. And I tell him, this is what you start with. If it's ugali, measure the water according to the amount of ugali you want to cook. You must measure first. And then how much flour goes into it. And then how you start stirring the ugali until it's ready. They watch. First times they watch. Then after that, teach them slowly. When they are able to now hold the mwiko, they are safe using the mekos and the gas and the jikos and whatever they are using to cook. Teach them now how to do it. So that's how I did that. And today, that boy can cook even when I'm not around. Much as I love cooking food myself, because I do batch cooking. I enjoy doing batch cooking, freezer meals, so that I can save time and energy. I have learned to do batch cooking, and I like it. So even when I am doing that batch cooking today, he's very much involved. The one who is doing it, me, I don't go to the market anymore. I took him with me early enough to the market, showed him how to choose the fresh things, where to buy the good things. He learned. Now he goes to the market by himself. I don't have to do it. You see? So when you share these duties with a child, they learn, and it also becomes very helpful because you also don't get very tired. Okay? So he's very much involved. We prepare food together. Even now, we still prepare food together. Because I soak my stuff at night, so we sort at night together. If it's beans, we share. whatever we are sorting, kila mtu ana sort yake. Kama ni mbosho, mimi nachukua mbosho, kama ni njahe anachukua njahe, kila mtu anachagua yake, tunaosha, soak, and then the following day I do the cooking. How easy is that? So everything has become very easy because I have taught him things early enough, and thank God he has not walked away from what I have taught him. Last but not least, and I said from the beginning that there are lots of things that I have done, but I will just mention a few. So the last one I'm going to say is tell or talk to your child with words of affirmation. Words of affirmation are very helpful. When this child does something and does it very well, say well done, keep it up, I am proud of you. You know, those words of affirmation are very, very helpful, and they also make that child grow with a lot of confidence. So they know whenever they do something, they know since mom affirms this every time, they know they do it confidently, with a lot of confidence, knowing that they have done it at their best. And also, we Africans don't tell our children I love you. I told my child I love you enough times, from the times he was growing up, when he was young. I kept saying I love you, and even today it's not hard for me to tell him I love you, and he does reciprocate the same thing. So, and remember, whatever you say is also practical. Si ati unasemanga I love you na unashindanga huku ukimkemea saa yote. It doesn't work that way. Some of the things you say or talk about to your child. So ukimuuliza sijui ulitoka wapi na ni wewe ulimzaa.